Hi everyone, welcome back to Life After Neverland. My name is Corinne and this is Simba. Yes, I have a cat on my shoulders. I wanted to talk to you guys about The Chosen, Season 3, Episode 5, but specifically only talking about Eden as we've already talked about Episode 5. There were so many things in that episode, let me get him down real quick, that I felt needed to be discussed. Eden, she had no lines whatsoever, but I felt like regardless of whether she had lines or not, the fact that she didn't have any lines and yet we still have so many thoughts and feelings and emotions about what she's going through, I felt like we needed to discuss it. None of us really knew that she did have a miscarriage. I was curious if any of you guys were kind of having an inkling. I did not. If I didn't, well then Simon clearly didn't. Simon is just completely he's in the zone. He's focused on his purpose and what he's trying to do with Jesus. And so unfortunately, he's not even thinking about Eden, and she knows that. As a wife, you kind of feel like your husband should know the things that you're feeling. My husband actually does know, like whenever there's something wrong or something different, he always picks up on it, in which I feel very blessed that I have a husband that is like that. But I don't feel like that's normal, actually, for most relationships, or at least the relationships that I've observed in my life. I can't help but wonder if that's something that Eden is feeling. Why can't you recognize that there's something going on? On the other hand, is Eden a communicator? Because it's coming across like Eden harbors her feelings, her hurt, her pain, and doesn't really communicate with anyone about it. I think the question that I had for you guys is, do you think that she is so resentful of Simon at this point because he was away when she had this situation happen? It's not like he's off frolicking with other women. So I don't understand how it could end up being to the point where Eden wouldn't want to be with him anymore, that their marriage would be in complete turmoil because he was unaware and serving a purpose. Because from what I've noticed about Eden in the past, she's been extremely, extremely supportive. Is there a line that is drawn in that support system in regards to Eden? Did she not realize what she was getting herself into when she encouraged Simon to go on this journey? That's something that we will discover in the next 3, maybe 4 episodes ahead. I do feel like The Chosen is going to play this out all the way until the very end. And I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I was really curious about what you guys think about their marriage. Is this about the marriage? Is this about the miscarriage in the marriage? Or is this about the miscarriage, the marriage, as well as the relationship with Jesus? Jesus and his relationship with Simon, and Jesus and his relationship with Eden. And I can't believe that in the last episode, in episode 4, so the one prior to the one we just recently saw, when Eden saw Veronica, when they were having that conversation by the water, that served a purpose. Now, maybe they have some sort of commonality, and that's something that we were able to experience. For what reason? And I can't help but believe that where the envy and the jealousy comes from is not from Simon and what he's doing. It's actually the fact that Jesus possibly healed Veronica, but didn't, according to Eden. He didn't sense or have the desire, whatever Eden might be thinking in her broken heart, to heal her first. Like, make her the first priority. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. And that was something that I wanted to ask you guys. Where do you think that this is going to go? Because he healed Veronica, but then Eden is still suffering. And then when we saw at the very end, they were playing in the pool and they were frolicking and laughing and having tons of fun. And of course, Simon was involved in all of that. So at the very end, when you see Eden just standing there, not only is she obviously, like I said in the last episode, she's holding this burden, but what is she thinking in that moment? That she's not valuable, that she's not as important. Once you've had the hopes of having a baby and the excitement of all of that, what an emotional experience to realize that you're pregnant and you're going to have a baby. And you know that's exactly what Eden wanted. I mean, I believe that that's all Eden wanted, is to have a baby and have a family with Simon. Because when you see Eden, she's taking care. She's the caregiver. That's what she is. That's what she does. She takes care of Simon. She takes care of the disciples. And she takes care of Jesus. She takes care of her mom, all of that stuff. So her having a baby, that's essentially who she is. Where the other women, they're going off on that journey with Jesus. So I don't know if she even connects with these women. You know, to talk about my journey, because that's the only experience that I can share, is that when I thought that I was going to be able to get pregnant and it didn't work out and it didn't work out and it didn't work out, it was a massive, massive roller coaster. And as I'm sure those of you that are watching maybe if you had a similar situation as me. And if you want to know even further, you can check out my episode discussion on episode 4, because we actually talked about it in regards to Veronica and what she was experiencing. So yeah, please check that out if you want to know further. But my husband and I even went through the process of artificial insemination. We were going through all of that, and it just never, ever, ever, ever worked out. And it was really hard, and it was really, really severely painful. But there's other things that happen to you while you're going through that, and then, miscarriages happen and things of that nature. But you see other women getting pregnant around you. I had women getting pregnant that worked with me. So here I'm going through all of these struggles. I've had miscarriage. I'm going through artificial insemination. I'm going through all of these things. And these women that I work with, they're getting pregnant. And you get to watch them go through the whole process, and you just can't make it happen. It's just not happening. And I'm even getting emotional just talking about it. And this has happened to me like 10 to 15 years ago. And then you see women around you that have children or are pregnant and they don't want to be. You'd give anything to be able to have a baby or have a child, have a family. And that's not just something that you can have. You just can't. It wasn't meant to be. And that's something that you have to face. And it's so heart-wrenching. And I told you that I've come to terms with it, but even though in my past episode, but even though when I'm talking about it, clearly that's a deep-rooted pain that will always hurt. That's always going to be something that I was never able to experience in my life. That's something that I will never be able to relate to other women and what it feels like to have a baby and to, dance. Like I've said before, if you guys follow me a lot, dance has always been my thing. And I've always thought, what if I had a little girl, and what it would feel like if I was able to get her into dance class, and, I was be able to teach her those things, or the list goes on and on. I could go on and on all day long. Eden's thinking of all those things. So I pretty much feel confident that part of the problem, it's an array of different things, but Jesus healed Veronica, and for some reason, it's not happening with Eden. And so what's going to happen moving forward in regards to that? What type of conversation is going to be had? How is that going to work? And what happens to Simon in regards to all of that? What is going to happen now? Someone in my comments, thank you. Those of you that write thoughtful comments, I really, really appreciate it. It's super easy to pick people apart when they're doing their videos. And let me tell you, it's not easy to make videos. But I really, really appreciate the thoughtful comments. And Ruth, I believe that you were saying something along the lines of that Jesus wants us to ask and reach out to him. And that might be part of that lesson that they're trying to show in The Chosen, of how valuable and important it is for you to reach out to Jesus and just ask him. It's clear that Jesus, to me, I could be wrong. And so I'm going to go out there and say, I feel like Jesus knows. I really do, because he said something to Simon in regards that he needs to work some things out. Well, why would he say that? Clearly he knows what's going on. And I think he wants Eden to ask him. They're close to Jesus. And maybe that relationship is something different. He's not going to see Veronica again. This was a one-time maybe. I could be wrong. A one-time chance meeting that she had with him. But Eden and Simon have a relationship with Jesus. So let's see where it goes from here. I would love to know your feedback. What do you guys think? Do you think that Eden and Simon have a marriage that's ready to fall to shambles because of all of this? Do you think that most of it is because Eden is resentful towards Jesus and the other disciples and maybe some of the other ladies? What do you guys think? I'd love to know in the comment section down below. And once again, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your positive comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys. I'm going to do my dishes.